Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I get so many requests to do dry skin specific makeup looks on my channel. So this one is for you. If you've requested this, this is absolutely for you. Let's get right into a full-on tutorial, including skincare and skin prep for dry skin. Now, if you're not new to my channel, you probably already know that I don't have dry skin. That's not my skin type. I am more of a combination oily dry skin person. That is my skin type. But I do have plenty of moments throughout the year, especially when it's cold, where my skin is dry and where I do know that feeling of having dry, more parched, more like, you know, that when you're touching your skin, it starts to make that sandpaper kind of sound. I know the feeling. I get it. But not only that, as a working makeup artist, I have a ton of consistent clients I see on a regular basis that have very dry, very parched skin. And I have tons of tricks that I utilize when I'm working with dry skin clients. Now, I'm really excited though for this video in particular because I have partnered with Dalba and I've been wanting to try products from Dalba for the longest time. I've been heavily influenced on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. It seems like anywhere I look, I'm seeing this product. So I've been missing out for a long time. I can tell you that firsthand. I've been testing this product out. I can tell you firsthand, dry skin people are the first people that I thought of when I was using this product. Now, I love it, even though I have combination oily skin. It feels like the most incredible drink of water and hydration and just carrying mist for your skin. It feels fantastic. So I'm going to teach you how to use this product and incorporate it into your routine if you have dry skin. But first things first, let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the Dalba First Serum Spray. This is a hydration and a radiant skin mist. It's going to be your hydration. It's going to be a great product to use in between your steps of makeup if you want that added boost of moisture and glow. So for example, I like to prep my skin with this firsthand, let it soak in, follow it with my moisturizer, which I'll show you in a second. But then this is also an incredible tool to add moisture throughout your makeup application. So after you get that foundation on, I'm gonna show you how to put this on all over and then to finish your makeup and also as a refresher throughout the day. This is a great product to add more glow, more moisture throughout the day and to refresh your skin. Now, as I was doing like my research and learning more about Dalba in general, I found out that they're the #1 face mist sold on Amazon. There's 2 different layers to this product, which is really cool. And you have to shake this up before you apply. But the top layer is plant-derived oils. This has avocado oil in it, sunflower seed oil in it, and also chia seed extract. Now, the bottom part is the white truffle serum. This is white truffle extract plus vitamin E and something that they call Truferol, which is a patented ingredient from Dalba, which gives your skin intensified elasticity, antioxidant, and also anti-aging properties. So what you want to do is shake both layers together before you spray this on. Make sure that you're shaking it before you apply it, and you want to do a minimum of 5 sprays, but also kind of go to town. I think the minimum is just like, don't just do like 1 to 2. Like you want to really soak your skin with this spray, and it feels so incredible on. So I'm gonna do about 5 to 6, depending, layers right now. That was way more than 5, but it feels so good on my skin. It feels like such a great like drink of water and hydration. Now moving on to the next product, and all products I'm showing you from Dalba are 100% vegan and they're all safe for sensitive skin types. Okay, now to the next product. You want to lock in that first layer of moisture. This is so important for dry skin, but just skin in general. So my biggest thing as a makeup artist, even if I'm working with a client that has more like my skin type, right? More like combination oily or even like oily in general, I still will do some form of hydration, like a lightweight hydration, either in the form of a spray or a toner, and I'll still lock that in with some form of a cream. But for dry skin, this is especially crucial. Like this is absolutely crucial for your routine and for your skin prep for makeup, right? Because your makeup is only going to look as good as your skin prep underneath and how well you're taking care of your dry skin underneath that makeup, right? So if you're not giving it the tender, loving care, your makeup is just going to look dull. It could look really heavy on top of dry skin. So you want to make sure you're giving your skin that extra hydration, that extra moisture, and then applying your products on top, and it's just, you're gonna get such a better outcome and it's gonna feel better. Okay, now white truffle is Dalba's star ingredient. Like that is their entire skincare collection. It's all white truffle based, and I love that. I think it's really, it makes you feel like luxurious, right? Like I'm going to like a really nice spa, but it actually does do amazing things for your skin. Like these products have felt amazing on my skin as I've been testing them out for you all. So now I'm gonna top off that first spray serum with a good moisturizer. This one is really unique. I thought this was really interesting. I have not seen something like this, I don't think ever, unless I just forgot about it, but this is a double serum and cream. It's hydrating, it's super moisturizing and nourishing for your skin, especially if you have dry skin. So this is really cool. It comes with a little spatula, right? And it's double-sided. You can tell I've been using this heavily. So one side is gonna be your serum, and this is really nice because you can kind of adjust how you want your skin to feel and like what your skin actually needs. It's very adjustable, to you in particular, right? It's very customizable. And then this part is the actual cream. So for me personally, I kind of gauge how I'm feeling from day to day, and depending on like how my skin is feeling, how dry it's feeling, I'll switch up the combination. I'll either go heavy on the serum, or I'll go heavy on the moisturizer, or I'll do equal parts. For this application, I'm actually gonna take the serum first with the spatula. I'm gonna get a good amount on. I'm a big serum under makeup advocate. I love the way serums feel underneath my makeup. So I'm gonna rub this in first, get this all over. This will also give you a really nice instant dewy effect because it is a serum. So it really gives you that glossy, dewy, juicy kind of skin. But if you are dry, your skin is gonna drink this up quite literally like a glass of water. It's gonna feel so nice and refreshing on your skin. The good thing about serums too is they help to instantly plump up your skin. So if you have more dry, dehydrated, or even more mature, dry, dehydrated skin, this is gonna give you an instant plumped effect because it's filling in like all those lines of dryness on your skin in and give you more of a plumped effect. Now I love the way the cream feels, so I'm gonna take my spatula, take a little bit, and actually a little bit goes a long way, especially for my skin. But again, this is all very customizable, which makes it very unique for like each person's experience, right? So if you have really, really dry skin, do even more mist of the first spray serum and then follow it with a white truffle serum and then do even more of the rich cream. This feels just so moisturizing and so emollient. What I also like too is if you actually go to the brand's website, it will give you a little list of the combinations that they recommend you using depending on your skin type, which I think is really helpful. So for example, like they have 2 layers of the serum if you have, and just 1 layer of the cream if you have more oily skin. They do like a whole list of what they recommend you use as far as like, you know, how many scoops of each, which I think is again, really, really helpful. But this helps to build collagen. It's all plant derived, so it's vegan collagen that you're getting, and it just feels incredible. So once this is on, I like to follow it up with my foundation right away for my dry skin clients. This is exactly what I do. I don't do the eyes first. I'll get their foundation on almost right away because it just sits better on top of really well moisturized skin, if you have very dry skin, that is. Another thing I want to call out too really quickly is you don't have to do these products separately. You could just do 1 part and 1 part, or 2 parts, 3 parts, whatever combination you want to use. You can use them together, mix them, and then just rub them on all at once. So whatever works for you and your needs or your time, whatever you're more inclined to do, you can just customize it to what your needs are. Okay, skin is prepped. We are prepped. We are hydrated. We are gonna glow from within. It's gonna shine through our foundation. So the next important thing, other than your skin prep, and that really is the most crucial part of any makeup application for dry skin specifically, but equally important, you want to look at the foundation formulas that you're using. Okay, so you're not going to want to go for something that's more matte. Even more satin is not going to be like your best option. If you actually have dry, more dehydrated skin, you're going to want to top your rich skincare with a more glowy foundation formula. These are really the type of formulas that are going to be best suited for your skin type. It doesn't mean that you can never try a matte. It doesn't mean you can never try a satin, but generally speaking, these are going to be your best friend. They really are. One that I like that is higher end is a little bit more pricey. However, it does feel amazing on your skin. It really does. I've used this for a while now, since it came out, I think probably 2 years ago was when I first was introduced to this formula from Givenchy. It's the Prism Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. Boy, does this feel amazing on your skin. It really does. And I have so many dry skin clients that also swear by this formula and have talked about it and like maybe really get into it even more. I liked it on its own, but again, it's not really the best formula for my skin type normally, right? Because I do get more oily throughout the day. However, I do love the feeling of this. So I'm going to apply this with my N17 and start in the center of my face. And also I should call it the shade that I'm wearing. And the shade that I'm putting on right now is W245, and this has more of a warm undertone. It's not super yellow though, which I appreciate. Now you'll see too, this doesn't give a ton of coverage, but you can build it up. So if you want to customize it, build it up to be a nice medium, you definitely can. But what I suggest doing is doing 1 coat first, kind of letting it dry down a touch and self-setting, then going in with your additional layer if you want to build up the coverage, and then spray on some more of this D'Alba First Serum Spray because it's going to give you that instant hydration and really infuse more glow into the formula, which I'm all about that for my dry skin people. Products like that are just an absolute must. Moisturizer alone is not going to do the trick. It's not going to cut it. Like, look at that glow. It is quite glowy. It really is quite glowy. Now I should mention this one does have a slight fragrance to it, so just if you're sensitive to it, Just a little forewarning. I do think they make a nice drugstore alternative that you could check out as well. That is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, or is it True Match Nude? Beautiful, beautiful, inexpensive formula. It gives a really beautiful glow. It has a subtle shimmer to it, just as an FYI, whereas this one does not. But I always like to recommend that one for anyone who's specifically looking for a dry skin formula, like a dry skin friendly formula from the drugstore that is like top notch. Now to add some warmth to my complexion, I'm going to grab one of my favorite cream bronzers that I think also works really well for all skin types. But I do think this would be a standout for any dry skin types out there. This is the LYS No Limits Cream Bronzer. I wear the shade Harmony. And what I like to do is just take my N15 brush, take the brush to the product, get a nice like thin, even layer throughout the brush, right? And then kind of just evenly distribute it from forehead to cheek, and then I start to blend it out. You know, the beauty of applying cream bronzer on a very dewy, glossy kind of base like I have on right now is your products are going to glide on. They're going to blend on with such ease that they're almost going to blend on too quickly, right? Because there's so much slip going on. But if you have truly dry skin, you're going to really appreciate how easy it is to blend your cream products or all your products on your skin when you have a really well hydrated, really well moisturized base. And that includes your foundation. Like we have a nice glowy foundation on, which is giving us this maximum amount of slip to blend the rest of our products on top. It's all about the slip, right? So I'm really going for it, blending out that cream bronzer, going for just a fresh, warm complexion. I find that this bronzer, just in general, it doesn't matter what skin type, I feel like it has just such an easy blend to it. It's really, really user-friendly. But one thing I want to call out is a little goes a long way. It is almost similar to how I talk about like the Rare Beauty blushes, like those liquid blushes, where you need like the tiniest bit and it will last you forever. I feel the same way about this cream bronzer. I feel like you need the tiniest little bit. It is very, very pigmented, very pro-like in my opinion. But again, the reason why I chose it for this tutorial is because I feel like it just looks so beautiful on any skin type and just blends with such ease that it's just really easy to work with. So I'm doing a little soft sculpting on my nose just to bring some warmth to the center of my face. I'm going to bring it up towards the inner part of my eye. It's gonna look a little messy at first until we clean this up with concealer, so don't you worry. Now the eye makeup for this tutorial, it's not gonna be the focus because eye makeup is universal. It doesn't matter what your skin type is unless you have like severely dry eyelids. But eye looks more specifically are universal, right? It doesn't matter what your skin type is. You can do any kind of eye look. So we're not gonna do a huge focus on the eye makeup, but we're still gonna do like a nice pretty look because how can I not? So bronzer is done. Now we're gonna skip to some concealer. One that I really like for, and I don't use this in my Pro Kit. I just have to tell you that firsthand. The one that I use in my Pro Kit the most for my dry skin clients is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. That's been my go-to for, I mean, I can't even tell you how long, like majority of my career I've used that in my Pro Kit for my dry skin people. And most of us are, you know, if we're going to be dry, we're going to be really dry under the eyes. And I find that that one works incredibly well for dry skin. Set the right way, you're golden. But I want to show you one that's a little bit different because I do feature that one a lot. And this one works amazing for dry skin too. Now, I don't have dry skin like I mentioned, but the formula, I'm very familiar with this formula. And again, I don't use this in my Pro Kit, but I would definitely suggest this for dry skin people. I think that this has a really beautiful feeling to it. It feels really nice and creamy under your eyes. And it doesn't look too heavy. So even if you put a decent amount on, it's not gonna look super heavy under your eyes or under your dry, more dehydrated eyes, right? So I think this is a really beautiful formula to check out if you do have dry skin. I am gonna use this also in different areas to do some minimal and natural highlighting. Now I will say to put this out there, I think this concealer is beautiful, but when you're using it in different areas to like highlight, for example, like I am right now, I don't think it's the best for oily skin. I really do think this is a dry skin to normal combination kind of product. I think this is really best suited for those type of people. So I'm gonna switch over to a clean N14 brush. I'm gonna tap this in. I'm gonna carry it onto my eyelid. I'm not worried about completely blending it out yet. You can see the coverage is beautiful. It still gives a nice subtle glow to my skin too. It's not like I said, overly heavy. I'm actually gonna sweep a decent amount onto my eyelid now just to cover up any redness. This is gonna be our eye base for the eyeshadow to go on top. And you know, if you have dry skin, you could still absolutely use an eyeshadow primer. I still think they're a really great tool to utilize. They can feel a little bit more dry on your eyes, right? Because they are meant to prime your eyelids. They're meant to like absorb excess oil. They're meant to keep your eyeshadow like powder formulas on all day. So they can be a little bit more drying and they can feel a little bit more heavy on dry eyelids specifically. So what I love and what I always do for like my dry skin clients is I won't prep their eyelids with an eyeshadow primer. Instead, I will use a concealer, and more times than not, I'm either using the Hourglass Vanish Concealer and just a small thin amount of it because it's a heavier concealer, or I'm going for my go-to. My go-to is that NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, and that is just an amazing base set with a little bit of powder for dry eyelids. Okay, I'm gonna sweep this down my nose. I'm gonna go back to my N15 that has that little bit of bronzer left over on it. I like to work in layers, kind of go back over any areas that I might have dragged my concealer too low. Give my cheeks a little lift. And now here's where the magic comes in, okay? If you have dry skin and you need that extra bit of hydration and that extra bit of glow, you're gonna go back to the D'Alba First Spray Serum. You're gonna shake it up again, and you're gonna do a nice full-on mist just to like really lock in that moisture, to really give your skin that extra juicy glow. This is a game changer. Doing this mid-makeup, if you have, again, don't do this if you have oily skin, just don't, trust me. I'm gonna look so shiny after this tutorial. If you have actually dry skin, this kind of step in between your makeup application is an absolute game changer. So hold please. That was probably about 7 sprays, I think, total. So I'm always going over 5. So 5 is like the minimum amount of sprays. I'm gonna let this soak in and absorb before I go with my next couple of products. Now, before I set my makeup, and again, even if you have dry skin, powder is not your enemy. I promise you. I'm gonna show you 2 powders that are amazing for dry skin. I promise you, don't be afraid. But before we get into powder, that's a whole other journey that we'll be taking together. We're gonna do one more liquid product on our skin, and that's gonna be from Saie. I really like this for dry skin. I do not like it for my actual skin type, which again is more combination oily, but this is the Saie Dewy Blush. It's in the shade Rosy. It's just a dewy, easy to work with, very moisturizing feeling blush. So I'm gonna take the doe foot and I'm gonna swipe on a decent amount. You know, my makeup is not set underneath, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it becoming patchy while I blend on this formula. And also just in general, I've worked with this formula enough to know that it doesn't really lift up the makeup underneath unless that makeup was set with even a little bit of powder. That's when it will lift up. Also, using this type of formula on top of a glowy base that is now very, very well hydrated, right? It doesn't have that same lifting effect. So as long as you're not working with a matte base or even like a satin base underneath this product, it's not gonna lift up. Feel free to actually apply it directly to the skin and then blend it out. But the color is really pretty. I actually really love this color. I think this is a really soft, beautiful daytime kind of pink. So I'm tapping it in with the same brush I used earlier. It's my N17, the same one that we have the foundation on, and just working this onto my skin in a nice tapping motion. You still don't wanna be aggressive. You don't wanna buff back and forth because I have so many liquid and wet and dewy layers on my skin at this point that if I went to go and buff this product in, it would become like we were mixing a cake batter. It would be like a cake batter that mixed together, and you're not gonna be left with a great color. It's not gonna be ideal. It's gonna end up looking a little bit more muddy, and it could look really patchy as well. So tapping is it's just your best friend with makeup. No matter what your skin type is, tapping is it's the way to go. As Mitch says, tap, tap, tap. With whatever's left over, I'm gonna sweep this across my nose. Again, one of my favorite makeup techniques to warm up your complexion and to bring some vibrancy and some like healthy glow to the center of your face, because you don't want to ignore the center of your face. Don't leave it alone. Don't neglect it. With whatever's left over, I'm going to lightly tap a little bit across my forehead just for some extra warmth, just like that. So now we are officially done with all of our liquids. All of our liquids are done for the most part, okay? And then we're going to go into some powders. So one powder that I absolutely, positively cannot recommend enough. You're probably not gonna be surprised, but it's the Givenchy Prism Leave Powder. This powder never, ever, ever leaves my pro kit. I use this on all my dry skin clients. It doesn't matter. I use it on oily clients too. I use this on everyone. Mature, young, I use this powder on every single person. I am running very low on mine currently. I'm gonna tap some into my cap. I'm not gonna use a ton because I'm gonna try to keep this true to what I would do for a dry skin person, even though that's not me technically. Now, first things first, before I set my under eyes or any part of my face, I'm gonna grab a clean N16 brush. I'm gonna use the tip of the brush where it has the longer fibers. I'm gonna blend out creases that happened while I was talking and doing other things, right? So on my eyelid too. And then one trick that I wanna really share with you all is the importance of setting one eye at a time. If you are prone to creasing, or if you have just quite a few layers of moisture, hydration, glow, dewy emollient products, the likelihood of creasing is a lot higher than if you're using more like satin to matte products because they have a quicker dry down time and they're meant to dry down, right? Now these products definitely do dry down somewhat, but they're not as quick as other products I just mentioned. So you want to work one eye at a time. So I'm going to immediately go in with my N14. I'm going to dip into my Givenchy Prism Leaf powder, tap off the excess really well. Okay, this is what you want to do. If you're really dry, tap off as much excess as possible and press on a very thin, very light sheer layer of this powder. This is what's going to work for your skin type. That way it's not making you look like dry and crusty or all those things you don't want to look like when you have dry skin. So don't fear powder. Powder is here to help. Powder is here to give you like smoothness and like that filtered look for your skin. And it's also meant to keep your makeup on longer. So just because you have dry skin doesn't mean you can't use powder. It doesn't mean you can't get the benefits. The benefits are this beautiful smoothing effect that, look at that, come on, that's a huge difference, right? Like my under eyes look visibly so much smoother, so much more flawless, so like airbrush basically. It's like I put a filter under my eye with a very minimal amount of this product, right? You don't need a ton of it to get this kind of look. So I'm gonna sweep a little more onto my eyelid, okay? And this is really where you wanna customize it. Powder is where you wanna customize the makeup look. I mean, obviously you wanna customize the rest of the products as well too. Like this is more of like a guideline for dry skin. But in terms of wherever else you're gonna put the powder, you can have dry skin and still get kind of shiny throughout the day, right? You can still be dehydrated and have dry, parched skin and still show some forms of shine throughout the day. Like that is possible. So powder where you feel like it's necessary, powder where you feel like your makeup doesn't last the longest throughout the day, and go from there. So taking my N16 one more time, I'm gonna blend out the creases, buff them out, immediately follow it with a thin layer of the Givenchy powder. We want to cut some shine and we want to lock in, again, certain areas that just don't typically wear long throughout the day. So for me, that's around here. I want to cut some shine above my lip because we don't want to look like we're just sweating above our lip, right? Cut a little bit of shine on my chin, and then the rest we're going to leave. I'm going to go for a teeny bit more under my eyes. And again, remember, customize it, right? If you're not happy with the way your under eyes look with just a thin, small amount, and you feel like your skin could still handle a little bit more, then push it, add one more thin layer, and then go from there. So powder is done, but I want to show you another powder because it would just not be fair of me to not show you this powder that I feel like I keep it a secret, but then again, I don't. You don't see it on my channel often because it's always in my makeup kit. This powder never, ever, ever leaves my pro kit. This is a fantastic formula that I've recommended for so many years. I used to be hooked on the loose version of it. Then I found out they have a pressed version, which is just equally amazing. It's convenient. It's fantastic for touch-up. So what I typically use this for is not overall setting my client's makeup, but more so touching up my clients that have dry skin throughout the day because they still need touch-ups. They still need tweaks and refinement throughout the day, and you probably do too if you have dry skin. So I'm going to go back to my N14, and I just want to show you the magic of this by Terry pressed powder. This is the hyaluronic pressed Hydra powder. It has 8 times hyaluronic acid. Oh my gosh, it's just an amazing powder for dry skin, okay? It's just the best of the best. So talk about smoothing and blurring. Let's say you have dry, mature skin, dry textured skin, just any areas of the skin that you want to blur and add some extra refinement to. Boy, this powder is like literally magic in a pressed form. So I use these in combination together all the time, like all the time. This is like my winning combo. So again, any areas you have larger pores as a dry skin person, or if you want some refinement to your skin, this powder is not going to dry you out. It's going to feel fantastic. So I'm going to add a little bit more just in the inner part of my cheek because anytime I have too much glow in this part of my face, it just makes my pores look larger than they are. And I'm going to avoid that. I would like to avoid that, right? Okay, powder is on. Feels amazing. I'm going to show you 2 other powder products that I think are so fantastic and so worth checking out if you have dry skin. Don't be afraid, again, just to go back to like my rant earlier, please don't be afraid of powder products if you have dry skin. Just choose the right ones. Choose ones that are gonna be just beautiful and lightweight and gonna add like that luminosity and that glow back to your skin. One product in particular that I absolutely love so much is from Kosas. It's the Sun Show. It's basically like a more natural, luminous bronzer. It's not glittery, it just gives you like this beautiful, like luminous effect to your skin. This is the shade Waves. Waves is like a really nice, soft, natural tone for me. I'm taking my N15 again. I'm I'm gonna swirl into the shade, and this will just not only lock in your cream products, right? It's gonna lock in your cream bronzer, but it just adds the most beautiful, healthy sheen to your skin. Not heavy, it's not glittery, it's not gonna make your dry skin look like it has texture to it. It's just gonna look soft and luminous and like a filter. It's really magical. I'm so happy that Kosas has this product. Very, very similar to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palettes. These are absolutely beautiful, but I didn't want to throw in too many expensive products in this tutorial, so this is a little bit more so this is a much more affordable product. And also I do think that the Hourglass Ambient palettes can be a bit tricky because you get 3 shades, and I get a lot of questions online, people asking, how do I use the 3 shades? Like, what do I do with all 3 of them? So I think that this is like a really nice alternative to the Hourglass. Gives a beautiful, very similar effect, and it's just very user-friendly, right? I just have to mention this because it would be such a miss if I didn't. And Mitch loves this product, okay? Mitch absolutely loves this product. This was pulled from my makeup kit. I love this so much. This color in particular is just, if you have my skin tone, a little bit lighter, or even much lighter, I should say, or deeper, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, either like a blush chopper or a like pinky highlighter. Again, it's gonna look different on everyone. For me, it's just like a really beautiful, soft blush topper. So let's say you have a matte blush on, or let's say you just want extra glow and extra vibrancy to your blush, add this on top. Or if you're really, really fair, this is gonna look like a really beautiful, soft pink blush. So it's really gonna look different on everyone, right? I'm gonna take my N17, I'm gonna flip it, right? So I've used the heck out of my light side. I'm gonna flip it to the back side, which is best for powder applications. And I'm gonna swirl into Rose Quartz. And again, if I did not mention this, this is from Haus Labs. It is the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. What I love about this and what makes me think of dry skin people out there is it doesn't add a heavy powdery layer. It's actually very similar in terms of like the way it's formulated, like the actual ingredients, like the way the product sits on the skin and performs. It's very similar to the Kosas, and it's also very similar to the Hourglass Ambient products, like the blushes, the bronzers. It's like a very similar formula, right? And I think that all products that are similar in this kind of formulation work so well for dry skin. So well. So I'm just tapping this on top of that beautiful Say Dewy Blush. It's gonna lock it in as an extra bonus benefit. It's gonna add a soft, luminous finish, not glittery, okay? So don't be afraid. It's not gonna add glitter to your dry skin and magnify your dry skin or magnify your dry skin texture. It's gonna add a soft, luminous glow. I'm telling you, you will get so many compliments on this product. And also with the Kosas, I get so many compliments when I wear these 2 products. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna sweep this across my nose like I did earlier. Come on, it's just so pretty. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm gonna kind of quickly go through the eyeshadow because again, it's not the star of the show. It's not the main point or focus of this video, but we want us to have a pretty look, right? I got this recently in PR. It's from Chantecaille, and it's the Luminescent Eye Shade in Rose Gold. And I think this is just really nice. I've been applying it with just my fingertip, very quick and easy as a one and done shadow. So I'm gonna apply this one all over my eyelid and just push it on. Don't be afraid of shimmer eyeshadows if you have dry skin. So fingertip, it's gonna pat it on. Now, if you want it, I just wanna give you this option because I think it's such a worthwhile thing to point out. I love doing this with like shimmery shadows. If you wanted more of a high shine, like a metallic wet shimmer look to this kind of product, you can. Take the product and take more of like a flat, stiffer brush. Like this is fluffy, but it has some stiffness to it. It's from BK Beauty, it's a 206. Great brush, really great one to have like in your brush collection. So you want to take your brush and spray it. I'm going to use, of course, the Dalba First Spray Serum. Shake it up. I'm going to lightly saturate it, dip into this beautiful shadow. I'm actually going to spray it one more time to make it even more metallic and then swipe it on. To finish up this eye makeup look, I'm going to use a beautiful gel eyeliner. I always forget the name of this. It's the shade Burnish, but it's the Ultra Matte Gel Eyeliner from the brand Melt. Melt makes some amazing gel eyeliners if you have not checked them out. I'm going to take my N11 brush. I'm going to dip into this stunning, very unique brown. I'm going to coat each side and then apply. To finish up my eye makeup look, because again, it's not about the eye makeup, it's about your skin. I'm going to use the Dior Maximizer 3D. It's a lash primer. I've been hooked on this recently. And again, I just have to always give credit where credit is due. Lisa J introduced me to this and I'm so thankful that I finally picked it up. And bonus too, I should also mention this, it's very conditioning for your lashes. So it's not just like coating them and making them look thicker and longer, it's actually conditioning them as well, which is a good bonus. We're gonna let that totally dry down until it does not look white anymore. That's how you know it's dry. And we're gonna move on to lip. And I have a really fun lip idea. And I have been wanting to try this combo for a minute now, and I'm excited to save it for this video. I think it's gonna look really pretty with the eyes, the glowy skin, and all that stuff. We're gonna do a more deep lip liner, which is something I don't usually do, like more berry tones on myself on my channel, but I really was inspired by this Tower 28 Lip Softy. It's a tinted lip treatment. These feel incredible on. They feel so nice. But this shade in particular just got me. It was so unique and so gorgeous. It's Ube Vanilla. That's like the fragrance. It smells intoxicatingly good. It smells so sweet and so delicious. And if you know ube, you know what I'm talking about. Like, this smells delicious. I'm gonna pair it with a Vive lip liner. This is the shade Rumor. First things first, I do need to blot my lip a little bit because I have a little too much lip balm on from earlier. So I'm gonna take Rumor. And to soften it, I'm just gonna tap it in a bit with my finger. Such a beautiful lip liner on its own. I love this color from Vive. So to top it, Ube Vanilla from Tower 28. And I do like to apply these with my fingertip, to be honest, not just like swipe it on. I wish you could smell this through the camera. These feel incredible. I love a good tinted lip balm too, and these feel so, so nice. Okay, here's one more tip. Now, if you have really dry skin, like really dehydrated, parched, dry skin, and you plan on setting your makeup with any kind of setting spray, but especially one that's more moisturizing like this one, I would recommend doing your mascara after you've done your final round of setting spray, just to avoid any mascara running or smudging, which you just, again, you want to avoid that. So shaking this one more time. This is our final round of the D'Alba First Spray Serum, and this is gonna be our last layer of moisture and glow to get that juicy, glowy skin, even if you have dry skin. YSL Lash Clash Mascara, cannot go wrong with this. I'm gonna do one coat on each side, one generous coat. And that completes this makeup look for dry skin. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for dry skin. Please leave me a comment if you are someone who has dry skin, or if you're the person, one of the many people who have requested this video from me, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and if you plan on implementing any of these tips or products into your routine. Big thank you again to D'Alba for partnering with me on today's video. I'll make sure I include links to all the products that I used from D'Alba in the description box below so you don't miss out. And if you like full tutorials like this, you can check out plenty more right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.